Speirs Peak Fire Operational Briefing Update, Thursday, July 18th.
Good morning, folks. Mike Bertagnolli here. I'm the Planning Operations Chief for Great Basin Team 3. We're here to talk about the Speirs Fire today, July 18th, 2024. So what I'll do is I'll talk about operations from yesterday's shift, and then I'll tell you about the plan going forward today. So had a good day on the fire yesterday. If you remember, we had some good moisture that came in earlier in the week, which has given us an opportunity to really get after this fire and start working around the edges of it. So starting around the fire, and I'll go kind of big scale first, we've got a contingency option out on the fire. And what contingency does is they get out and look for opportunities on the edges of the fire for indirect options in the event that the fire grows larger and we need to fall back to ridges that are further off. So what those folks are doing is they're focused largely on Green's Draw down here. Green's Draw south of the fire, it seems to be the place where we'll have the most impacts if the fire decides to get up and move again. So what we found is a road structure in here that leads into a trail that goes to the east. And what we want to do is get a bunch of logging equipment, would be called a timber task force in our terms, and removing some vegetation along a trail system out to the east. What we're doing is creating an indirect fire line there that gives us defensive position if the fire moves south. So those folks are in there doing some more recon on that, awaiting that equipment. Okay, let's move into the fire now, and I'll start with Division Alpha at the north end of the fire. Division Alpha a couple of days ago started in with direct hand line operations. So they're digging fire line right up near the edge of the fire, and they're moving east. They're moving east towards a couple of spike camps we've got. Spikes are kind of forward operating bases where we've got folks staged out there camping on the hill. They're taking hand line to the east as direct on the fire edge as they can. Yesterday they also found an indirect strategy. If for whatever reason their primary strategy, which is direct operations, doesn't work out, they've found a place where they can back off and hold that fire edge. Okay, we'll move around to the east into Division Foxtrot. Division Foxtrot is some of the steeper terrain and country on the fire. We've got a division supervisor out there with a fire use module, and what they've done is started to gather some real good intelligence on the east side of the fire. This area is characterized by real steep terrain, and so really what they've spent the last couple of days doing is figure out a way to engage the fire safely. They're establishing heli spots, which are areas that we can go in and insert people, as also remove people if there's any kind of emergency. And so what they're doing is figuring out how to safely engage the fire so that they can pick up direct handline operations and start moving south along the fire edge. And they'll just be doing a continuation of that today. Finally, Division Zulu. Division Zulu anchored in on the northwest corner of the fire a few days ago, and again started with direct handline operations. They've made very significant progress over the past couple of days in containing the fire, and as of last night it sounds like they've got initial handline up to Speirs Peak. So they've had a couple very successful days, and today they'll continue those operations to the south, working up to the far southeast side of the fire. So just to kind of capture all of it, we're working on the outsides of the fire. We're using direct handline construction on the north and south side, and then really doing some good scouting and looking for safe ways to engage the fire out to the east. And that's all I've got for you. Thank you.